Hi guys, Coach Fricker here, analyzing the York-Stevenson game. I'm going to go over three things: dead ball plays, through balls, and negative balls, kind of slash team movement, and a couple bonus clips. Overall, we had a really good showing, and there are just a few concepts that I want to kind of reiterate and just for you guys to think about. So first off, corner kicks. We'll start with corner kicks. So all dead ball plays are corners, goal kicks, kickoffs, free kicks, throw-ins, that sort of thing. On a corner kick, you can see in this first clip that we are all lined up on the 18 with the opposing team. Now what happens when we're all lined up with them out there is that we all, when the ball's kicked in, we all crash towards the net. And just imagine 8-10 bodies running towards the net and the ball's coming into that stampede. That motion will typically take the ball towards the net. So what I would like to do is build a house, and you'll notice a lot of professional teams do this. They build a house, and it's kind of pretty much the same as your formation, just condensed down into a box. And then that way it's like a zone D. When the ball comes in, then whoever's in that space has to get a header out or a kick out or what have you. And then anything within that 6-yard box, I would say, is Liam's, because he can use his hands and he can get taller than anyone. So let's just take a look at this first play here. We all kind of get back, and I don't know who that is, might be Zhao Young. He's trying to get the ball forward, not backwards, right? But his momentum, his body momentum, was already traveling backwards. So you notice he's trying to hit it with his shoulder, and it ends up becoming another corner. So if he was behind the ball when that came in, then he could head it out. But since we were all crashing the net, we weren't in our house formation. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, so it's one of our corners. Boom. Okay, that ball was placed pretty perfect, I would say. It's in the most dangerous spot on the field. You're asking me, what's the most dangerous spot on the field? The most dangerous spot on the field is anywhere between the PK and the 18, in that kind of middle area, okay? That's just the most dangerous spot that you can be in. That's where the most options come in, and we'll talk about that most dangerous spot on the field more. We just need to finish that, but you know, looks pretty good. That was a good corner. Okay, here's one of theirs. Boom. Okay, Liam, I'm gonna tell you on this one, that guy, he's in your 6-yard box. I think you need to meet that ball in the air. Let's reverse it a little bit. Boom. If you can get out and get that, I think you got to. Otherwise, I don't know why that guy's wide open. Okay, it's gonna be either one of our 6 or possibly one of our center backs. So maybe Ian. Anyone that can head the ball, okay? Maybe Zhao Yang. So someone has to be in that middle spot. That guy can't be free. But I also think, Liam, you might have been able to take that from him. But nice save anyway. And then we'll go on to the next. And so this next one is one of their goals. He hits it near post. Martin, great step on it, the first step. But now, see all 4 of our Stevenson guys right here? My house is kind of hovering over them. Or I'll highlight them right here. And they all drift out towards the guy. Now, only one guy needs to go out and challenge him. There's no other York players there. The rest of the York players, look at where they're facing. They're packed still on the far side of the goal, and their bodies are kind of facing both the ball and the goal. So they're ready to like move forward towards the goal. Boom. They deliver right into the most dangerous spot in the field. Little deflection. You know, that's tough for Liam. He can't cover the whole goal. And you know, that's just, you know, if we could have reacted a little quicker and going out and meeting him out there, and then 2, we had like 3 or 4 guys just drifting out to him. So one person has to take the initiative and call it, that's mine, and the rest of them kind of have to go find a mark, okay? They can't have anyone kind of free, especially in that center spot. But I don't want you to think, oh, I just got to stay tight in the box. Like, you do need to go find men and spread out and clear vision for Liam. But yeah, it's just unfortunate, but just something to think about there. Okay, now I called this goal kicks, although this is also like when the goalie has it and he's throwing it out. I thought we did a really good job here in terms of kind of, this is when people are most vulnerable. Okay, so you'll notice that the goalie throws it in, and I'm going to pause it right here. This guy that's about to receive the ball, his back is to the defender, so he doesn't know what's coming from behind him. So this is when they're most vulnerable, and they're most vulnerable on their first touch. Once they get their first touch, they're going to feel a little more confident, they're going to have a little more awareness. So if you can meet them before they get their first touch and their back is turned to you, this is the ideal time to kind of spring into action. And I think that's Jet, gets in, gets a nice steal. I think there was a handball there. Right here, another example, someone meeting him right as he gets that first touch and he's trying to turn. Okay, that's when they're most vulnerable, that's what we want. Another one here, Spencer, good read, boom, and I'm loving this. I'm loving the defense coming all the way up to our attacking third, being involved like that and keeping the pressure, hemming them in, keeping them in their box, right? Goal kicks are super dangerous at this level unless, you can boot it across half field, and I think Ian does that actually, but this is a great time for us to have constant pressure. We're relaxed, we can get organized, we can find our marks, and we can step in front, right? Here is an example, sorry for any critiques here, but of where we're kind of letting them get it out of their zone, right? Like, if the ball's up there, why aren't we all pushed? And then, that's just too much space. It's too much space to give the defender. Now, I don't want you running up there. Well, if you're already up there, just kind of in your mind, think, like, let's keep that pressure. And if you're up there, then hopefully everyone is following behind you, because we don't want one person just running like crazy and everyone else, and no one backing him up, pretty much. And a good way to tell Danny that he has backup is yelling, like, Danny, I got your right. Danny, I got your left. I got your back. And then he knows he can fully commit to that guy, right? So communication there. But anyways, let's move past that. Here, okay, so it's our goal kick. We get it out. Here, I would just say Spencer's great. His toes are touching the paint. That means his toes are on the yellow line, but he needs to work back more. And if Ian or whoever, you don't see an option here, you got to boot it out. But we're limited on options here. So I think, Ian, you could have done one of two things. You could have given it back to Liam, and Liam could have tried to rip it, towards the 50, or Spencer, you just got to drop back a little bit. Ian tries to get a nice bend there, but if you were 2 steps earlier, 2 steps further back, you would have had that, and then you might have had a shot to Josh or one of our center mids. But our center mids are kind of a little bit absent here. So, okay, so that's that one. Let's watch here. Okay, goal kick for them. We have okay coverage. Seems like we're still finding where we're at, but good step by Ian. Loving that step. Our defenders can do that, and if we're doing that, we just need to make sure that we have support in the back, because a few of their goals were maybe our center backs getting too aggressive, so we just need to make sure we're reading the situation correctly, okay? Okay, next one, free kicks. I'm gonna pause right here. I'm just gonna say who's taking this free kick. I think it's Alan. Now, Alan was fouled in this position, but if we are on our third, I would say one of our center backs should take this. Alan, you should be up. Look at just where we're at. We have 5 greens here, and their whole team is pretty much towards the 40 or behind, right? So what are we doing with 5 here, and then we have, 5 up top, 5 versus their 10? It's not gonna, the numbers aren't good, 1, and 2, Our our center mids and our forwards shouldn't be taking the free kicks unless it's in our attacking third. So let's just keep that as a rule. Have one of our center backs or even our outside backs, if they feel confident, taking the free kicks all the way up to the opposing 30. And then once we get into that 30, 18-yard box area, then we're going to start putting stuff on frame. And we'll go over that more in here in a second. But yeah, no, Allen shouldn't be taking that kick right there. Because look at this. There's a fat gap in the middle of the field. And it's just like four or five of us against, a flood of them. And really, if the ball gets bounced back into like the 50-yard range, it's going to be a white ball because we're missing players there. So one, Danny doesn't have a negative ball here. I think someone's there for him, but it's not ideal. Okay, here's free kick from Matthew, I think. Boom. Okay, so he places it pretty good. He goes a little bit too direct to the keeper. So on our free kicks, kind of it depends on where you're taking it, but most of the time what you want to do is you're always going to want to aim for the far post. So here you're aiming for the near post, which is fine, but what happens when you aim for the far post is that the ball crosses the face of the goal. Okay, it crosses the entire face of the goal. And in that entire time, there's a chance that we could put it into goal. When it goes near post and there's not really a run there, then it's just kind of keeper ball. Now, if you look at where we're at, I think I was yelling like pile up on the far post. And there are 3 people right here that really aren't going to be involved in anything right now. In terms of the free kick. Now, if, maybe this is Callum or something, if he's looking for the free kick to come to him and then he could put it on frame, that could work. But this person right here, whoever's the 10, or maybe it's the 8, there's kind of impeding that space. So really we want 2 or 3 guys like on the 18-yard line and attacking, kind of hoping that ball is going to come for the PK spot and then we're going to crash onto it. Because you don't want to put the ball on the keeper's hands. You want it just right outside of his comfort level that we're crashing in on it, so the PK or 18-yard box. And we need more than just this one guy, Josh, crashing. We need a few of us in there, okay? And if we want to try and swing it through the middle, through Callum and through Spencer, that's fine too. I think that's totally an okay option there. Okay, so free kick again. I think same thing. This time we have more people piled up, and this looks better. This is kind of what we're looking for here, is that we're all crashing on this PK spot. Now, if we want the ball to come to the PK spot, we want to vacate that space, leave that space open so we can crash into it. If we're already there, then it's going to be a little harder. I think this ball kind of gets botched and we don't even get to see it through, but that was a much better look at what I want to see, is packing the far post, and then we're trying to get that ball to cross the face of the goal in that far post, just everyone crashing in on it. Hopefully their defenders are crashing in on it and the ball is going towards the goal. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Okay, so another free kick. I don't know who's taking this. Maybe it's Zhao Young. Okay, so if I'm trying to, I think it's fine that Sergio's over on the right-hand side and Martin's there, okay? But look at where all of our guys are at. We're all packed in the middle of the box, so we're making it really easy for us to defend. So I would say, Martin, you should be outside the numbers meaning like the 20, the 30, the 40, leaving a gap in the middle or making yourself available. And the rest of you, there are 3 guys right here. They're between the ball and the goal. So my only thought here is that you're hoping that he lobs it up and over and you can chase it and beat the goalie to the ball, even though the ball's going towards the goalie. So I think these 3 guys, instead of being in between the ball and the goal, you want to be maybe near the hashes. Because then you have your eye on the ball and you have your eye on the goal, but you can move forward into that space where the ball could be delivered. But right now you're in like the pathway of the ball, which doesn't really benefit us that much. So I would say try and think of like, arc your run, be further out so you can run into the space right now. Right now you're kind of in the space where the ball might come. If Zhao Yang was to, let's see what happens here. He kicks it up and over, boom. Yeah, we need someone crashing right there, okay? But we're all like chasing the ball in the line that it came from. Instead, we want to be like running into it from like a side angle, from the far post angle, most likely. Okay, so just kind of a tip there. Okay, this is an illegal throw-in. They didn't call it on us, but I think we had maybe 4 or 5 illegal throw-ins. Next time I'll keep count. But I would say a good goal is to not have any illegal throw-ins. Okay, we're good enough that we don't need to have illegal throw-ins. Some of them came from really fast like restarts, and I hope we get to that point where we can have fast restarts. But if we're having illegal throw-ins, then just something to note. And so the reason why this is an illegal throw-in, let me reverse, is you have to have like one fluid motion. So this was like a spin move type thing, and they didn't really call it, but just so you guys know. Okay, so throw-ins. Danny and Callum, or somebody, these two guys, these two forwards are in good space. I like the run being made there, but they're kind of in the space where they want to receive the ball, and so there are a couple ways to do throw-ins. I like this where, you could do a short ball to Danny, and then Danny could give it right back to the thrower, so always expect that. But we're kind of crouching in on the space that we want to go. I think, like, this person's throw can probably make it to the 40, but that's right where we're at. And if we're trying to, if we see this guy that just headed the ball, if we want this guy to not be in the line of my throw, in the line of this person's throw, what does Danny need to do? Danny needs to take a run towards the ball and call for it. And what's that gonna do? It's gonna drag this guy forward, it's gonna drag Danny forward, and then Callum will have a clear run to the corner, and we won't have this little header incident. Now it still goes to where we want, but it's not as clean, okay? So here we actually have some big throwers. We can really throw. Same thing here. Danny, you're too close, because look at this number 4 on York. If you were to call and make noise, you could grab the attention of both these guys, right? Like just like a little 3-step forward run, and then the throw could go over to Adam, and then this number 4 guy would really have to sprint back to get there, okay? So it's just like create space for each other. I don't want you guys to do the same throw in every time. So sometimes it should be to feet, sometimes it should be over. But if you're gonna go over, someone needs to bring all the attention in, and that just means someone needs to make that call and run close, really close to the thrower. And we'll talk about this in practice. Really close to the thrower. Give them a left signal with your hand, a right signal with your hand, an up signal with your hand, meaning go over my head and then I'm going to run onto it. But we can't just right now we're kind of competing for space, and their defenders are able to cover both of us at the same time. Okay, so it's kind of like creating space. Okay, we'll try and keep these kind of short and concise here. All right, here, great example. Ian has a giant throw. He has giant throw and giant kick, and I think it's Jet here in the middle. If Jet was to make this run, maybe towards near post or something, bringing everyone's eyes with him. Look at where Ian's throw goes. It goes up and over. Oh, could have been a Sergio or Danny or whoever that was. Just, they're in that space. We're right at the top of the box near the PK, and I love that. We vacated that spot. Ian threw it to the empty space, and then we were able to catch him off guard and almost get something there. Okay, here, same thing. Why are we going deep to our, right over into their defender, right? So, big throw by Miles, but but like something else needs to happen here where Danny pushes in, he goes down the line, or you just go really short to, I don't know, is that Ryan there? And Ryan goes back to you, Miles. So when they know you're going to go long every time, then they're going to start to read it. So we gotta, I would say, I like the 2/3 rule where you do something 2/3 of the time one way and then 1/3 of the time the other way. Okay. Here, let's just take a look at this. It's okay, but look at where our left wing is, and look at where this is like a defensive dream. Like they're just so compact. They're 10 yards away from each other, and we're just this big clump of mess right here. So like, if we were to pick this apart, I would say you could go negative. I think our left wing should pull out to the numbers, taking this guy away. We don't want that guy in there. He's in the spot that we want to be, right? The top of the 18 near the PK. We don't want that defender there. So you have to figure out how to pull them away. And if they don't pull away and they just hold in that spot, then you're wide open, okay? And then we can move the ball around. But right here, there's just like really nothing there. And part of that has to do with like we're way too close together. We have nowhere for our first touch to go to have space and to ping the ball around. Like this is like super tight. Like if you guys are pinging the ball around in this tight of a triangle, it's going to be pretty impressive, right? So we're too tight here. We need to pull in different directions, create space, and you know, our thrower didn't really have any good options there, and we're just trying to force it through this wall of white. Okay, here's another throw by Spence. That was just an example of, you know, I love like the quick, like, hey, they're not set, we're not set, let's get a quick throw. You know, they got a touch on it, but it was an illegal throw. So if we're gonna make those quick throws, that's fine, but you know, we gotta make them good throws. So that means all the way behind our head and both feet on the ground. Okay, what's this? Okay, we're moving on to through balls. So let's start from the beginning, which is actually from Liam. So Liam passes it to Jet. Jet takes a nice side step. He doesn't step forward, takes a nice side step, gets it to Adam. Now look at who is this? I think it's Danny. Look at where Danny is. He's outside the numbers. He's created this giant gap right where like the referee is, and instead of Adam going to Danny's feet or above, he hits the through ball. Boom. Danny's on. Can you be off sides on if you're on the 50 on our side of the 50-yard line? No. And Danny gets this nice ball, positive touch towards the goal. Pause it right there. You know, if I like you going for the far post there, whoever's, I think that's Martin or somebody, whoever's like screeching like right next to the PK, you know, call for that, you know, just so he knows that you're there. He could hit a nice cheeky pass there. Although I like, Danny, you just taking the shot, because we're not taking enough shots, and I think that was a fine shot. But like, if you're a little more aware, you got Martin trailing you. And where are they trailing you? Near the PK. Okay, just all you gotta do is slide that ball near the PK. They're right there. Boom. Maybe a better shot. Okay, so through balls. Okay, here. Pause. You're on side. Now, why are we going to Matthew's feet here? Let's take another look at this. Why can't we go just straight down towards the goal? Like, why couldn't we just go down the hash marks? Because look at where that ball's going. If we go down a little bit to the right, Matthew has a little better chance. Now, Father John is a fast guy, and he's tracking back fast. But, you know, technically, Matthew, if you don't trap this and you just let it roll, it's a one-on-one with the goalie, and you have that space. Now, with through balls, right here on the 50-yard line, this is the most dangerous area for defenders, because you have all this space. The goalie's never going to get it, right? So I love through balls here, just sending it up to the top of the box somehow, not sending it to feet, sending it to space, letting them run on and have their chance with the one-on-one. Goalie actually came out nicely there, okay? Okay, here's another one. Nice find there, Liam. Zhao Yang, nice move to the side, not forward. And look how wide we are. We're beyond the numbers. Through ball. Danny's there. Father John's coming. Boom. Goal. We got our goal like that. That's our goal. So great. Hey, that's what we do that all day, right? Nice job, Danny. Okay. Okay. So this is their through ball. The goalie gets it to this guy. Nice side ball. Through ball. Gets a nice cut. And shot, miss. But let's take a look at that and break it down from the defensive perspective. So we're at a really dangerous spot in the field. Why? Because we're at the 50-yard line. There's tons of space between the players and the goalie. So if we do a through ball, the goalie's not going to get it. Now, I like how we're keeping this guy actually offsides. There's one guy offsides. You know, we have to be careful in this situation. I like how, actually, let's make this a positive. So right here, the positive here is that we're keeping our line, we're keeping this one guy offsides, and our bodies are ready to run back. You'll notice all of our bodies are facing the right direction, right? Boom, it's a foot race. You know, not many guys will probably get past Ian. He gets a nice kind of move there, but at least his feet were in the right direction. Okay, here's another through ball. Here, our guys we're not in a line and we're tracking Ian. I'm maybe gonna pick on you a little bit here. You're tracking the actual dude, the actual guy that's playing. And he's no threat to us at this 40-yard line. They're just trying to figure something out. You need to be further back because they're in this dead zone between 40 and 40. This is where through balls are magic. We get caught off guard a little bit and poof. Okay, we didn't really need to worry about, let me reverse it here. We didn't need to worry about this guy. I think you're too high up. And I mean, he's fast, he's quick. This guy's quick. He got there, got a nice touch, and then banger, and nothing you can do about that. In slow mo, it's a nice contest. Miles is contesting really nicely. You're holding the middle, which is nice. But yeah, it's just this 50-yard line is super crucial. You got to know if your offense is really fast, and if they are, then you have to give them a little more space. You have to give them a little more space and give yourself a little more time. And it was a nice finish, so we can just leave it at that. But yeah, this is where it's most dangerous for us. Okay, boom. Okay, through balls. When you're on R40 and you're trying to kick it up and over, I think that was actually a shot. That's fine. But let's check out this next one where you get it and you do a nice little drop to the corner flag. Boom, check gets there. Perfect. Now if that was in the middle of the field, keeper would have got it. And I think the camera's cut off, but we get some sort of cross. Almost a finish there from Danny. Okay. More through balls right here. Now it's hard to see, but Sergio on the far side here is pulled so wide. He's almost touching the white hashes, the outside hashes. Love this. He pulled his defender super far out. Look at this gap that's made right here. Alleyway, nice ball, through ball, boom. Nice cut back. Look at, now when we're cutting it back here, where should we be looking? This space right here. Okay, you have, I think, Zhao Yang, you have this guy. We could almost have someone else, like our 6, filling in that back negative space, top of the box, kind of far post. Instead, you decide to take a shot, no problem. I like you taking shots, but take that 1/3 of the time, and the other 2/3 go try and swing it across the top of the box, right? Okay, through ball here. Ethan, you are the last man defender. You have no help. I think in this situation, your whole job is to delay. And the best way to delay, just kick the ball out. Instead, you try and do something. Luckily, there's some mismanaged bounces there. But if you're the last defender and you're going one-on-one with the guy and you have the ability to kick the ball out of bounds, this is what I would say. Kick it out of bounds. Boof. Okay, right there. Okay. All right, still on through balls here. Nice pass to Zhao Yang. Again, we're outside the numbers. That's perfect. Creating space. Nice cut them up. Cut those defenders up. Through ball. And I think it just had a little too much mustard on it, so it was out of bounds. Okay. Big kick. Nice trap. We are playing defense. I like, Spencer, how you're keeping tight to Ian here. So in case Ian gets beat, you're right there. But you got to watch your man. He's almost offsides, but I think Ethan's keeping him on. So if you were maybe a little tighter, Spence, that would have been fine, or a little deeper. So you'll notice right here where you're pretty flat with Ian. So in this scenario, instead of getting closer to him, you're kind of in this no man's land. You want to be kind of in line with Ethan, so you want to create a little more depth here and be a little bit closer, because now he can't get the through ball on you, 1, and 2, you're still protecting Ian if he gets hit. And you might be saying to yourself, well, then this guy over here would be wide open, but he would be wide open taking the ball to the corner flag, and we'd much rather have him taking the ball to the corner flag than being right here. Nice touch, nice finish. It's nice on them. There's not much we could do there. Okay, this is a good one to look at. Okay, so Ian gets the ball, and Ethan, I think you're too close. Martin, I think you're too close. And what's the problem with just dropping back? If you drop back and this defender followed you, then Ian might actually have a gap here that he could push the ball sideways, right? If this guy tries to attack Ian, then you're wide open down low. So this is just something about spacing. It's just an extra couple steps, but we need to remember to do it. Instead, we're way too tight here, and then it's kind of like this. Luckily, we get a lucky bounce there. Okay, here. We get the ball. We have a couple negative options. Instead, we still just try and power the ball forward through their biggest guys. That doesn't seem like the right choice. I'm a big negative guy. I do want you guys to go positive sometimes, or left and right sometimes, but I would say 2/3 of the time go negative. Okay, same thing. We got a nice negative from negative. Oh, I like this one because we go negative, big negative to Liam. Look at this. We just spread the whole field out. All of their whites are running after us. We get a nice pass there, nice pass there. We just spread them open, and this is how we should play. We get it down the line, boom, and we're away. We created all the space. We made them run all the way back with just a couple touches, and believe you me, they did more running than we did in that instance. And that was just going negative a couple times, right? I promise there's not too many more of these, but here, why are we trying to go forward? Why are we just trying to dribble 3 guys? Same thing here. We're just trying to force something that's too much, I think. Okay, here, same thing. We're trying to beat Father John. We can't do that. Okay. All right, next thing, stabbing. Okay, Here, I actually didn't see much of this. I did see a little bit once we got tired in the second half. I don't have a ton of great examples, but I just want to show you right here what kind of good defense is. Just running up next to them, let them make the mistake, and then gather the ball once the ball bounces off their foot, right? Same thing here with Spencer. Just stay in front of them, and then once they make the mistake, then you steal it. We don't have to stab it or jump through. So here's an example. Sorry about this, but just we can't leave our feet, and we can't just like jump. Like I want us to take the ball and try and stay on our feet if we can. Okay, here's a couple bonus clips just to finish it off. So what is this one? Oh, great through ball. Almost worked. But look at this. We just keeping up the pressure. I like how we're all up here. Like this is the best opportunity. They're not organized, and we in like the counter. This is the best opportunity is the counter. But we all have to be on the same page. We all have to be playing defense. Because look, Father John gets it. We're right there. We're right there. You know, we almost get something here. You know, it was close. So I don't think we should give up on the ball here. And then look, Danny even has like a ripper. So, you know, pressure these goalies, pressure these defenders to make these great plays, to make these great like passing plays. If they do it, okay. I want you to try it 2/3 of the time, and then that last third, just take a break and don't worry about it. But if your forward is really gung-ho and he's going after it, I expect everyone else kind of following up and supporting each other, okay, let's see here. Bonus play, nice pass. Okay, I like this. Our formation here is good. Spencer and Ryan, or whoever that is, we're up. We have depth from our center backs, and we're a part of the offense right now. We get a nice touch out wide. Josh gets a nice touch inside. We're not moving forward. We're moving across the field again, right? And we get it across here. Danny gets a touch, gets a banger, almost puts it in. Like, why not? That was a nice sequence there. No one was trying to, you know, like pass the ball forward. It was all finding the next pass, finding the second pass, always finding the second pass, right? Okay, here we go. I like this pickpocket there by Spence, and almost had one to Josh, I think. Let's rewind that there. So yeah, defenders, you coming in hot, boom. So those offenders don't like that. They're like, gosh, what am I having to deal with here? And then finding a nice pass. Oof, if we were just on our toes a little faster, that would have been a touch shot, and that would have been in. What did I like here? Oh, Ian, he just stuck with it. Keeps his composure, stays out wide. Boom, puts it on the money. That's where we want it. Nice delivery. So those outside backs, this is kind of what I wanted to highlight here, is just like those outside backs. Get it across the face of the goal, try and lob it or kick it right to where the ball bounces on the PK, and guys, we just got to crash on it. Like, I don't think the teams we're going to be seeing are going to really know how to deal with that. Okay, what's this next one? Nice outside ball. Surge, nice pass, right across the face of the field. So we're there. We're getting some nice cross movement. Bringing attention to one corner and then crossing it up. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, so overall, I think in conclusion, we did an awesome job. You know, things to work on maybe are dead ball plays. So maybe throw-ins, corner kicks, setting that house as a corner kick. You guys remember that? So when we say house, you know what that means. And then stepping on opponents when they're most vulnerable. Like, we were doing a great job of that. So like, keep stepping on opponents when their back is turned to you, especially. And then the through balls. All it's gonna take is just a little extra space, create that space for the ball to go through. And then negative balls, like I think we were seeing way more success with our negative balls than just trying to turn the ball into the defenders and charge ahead. So those were my takeaways from the game. I know there's probably many more, but if you just keep it simple and just focus on some of those things, I think we'll be good. So take these into winter break with you. Have a good break, and we'll see you. We have a game on Jan 6th, so let's get ready for that. All right, have a good one.